Hi, Lema is my name. Welcome to Autism and Beyond. I'm glad that you're here. So today we're going to talk about how sometimes caregivers come parents can be suffocating the creative genius in our children. All right. Sometimes we do it without even knowing, and that's why we need to watch till the end of this video. Yeah, the 5 things that you should not be doing. So creativity is how we think outside the box. Creativity is how we solve the problems around us. Creativity is how we express ourselves in the most unique way. Okay? So when you hear of that, that means children who are on the spectrum, children who are neurodiverse, are naturally creative because they're as unique as they come. And everybody is, because there are no two brains that are the same. Okay? So the way I think is not the way you think, and it's not the way the third person thinks. And that's why instead of looking at someone, expecting them to think the way you think, the best thing is usually understand their point of view, see how they relate to you and how you relate to them, and come up with something even more superior. That's the beauty of creativity. Yeah. So what are some of the things that sometimes parents could be doing that could actually be doing more harm than good to our children? The first thing, not allowing our children to mess. Sometimes as moms, we love our houses neat and clean and well kept and in order. But trust me, you're gonna have to change that mindset. Either create a space where this child can know this room is mine. I can do what I think my mind wants to do at whatever particular time. We do not have a room, then we should be comfortable with our children just making a mess. It is okay for your sitting room not to look to be the most tidy, like the way you see, sitting rooms in TikTok and Instagrams. I love painting the walls and writing and drawing. What has worked for me is just designating one wall that kids can actually just go and write and draw. And because at first I was like, maybe I could give them a board that they could do, but no, they didn't like the board. They just liked the wall. And like right now, they've all outgrown. Then the second thing is encourage free play and have enough time for your children to play. Now, I did a full video and I'm going to tag it on the comment section. Also, I'm going to tag it here. However, this is what we know. Unstructured play has major benefits to a child's brain, especially a developing brain. Okay, so we know that kids say, we take our kids for play group and they play there, and that's better than screen, definitely. However, unstructured play is superior to structured play. And there's a video that came to mind as I was preparing for this, and you can tell me if really this is something you'd be interested to know. The pros and cons of taking kids early to play group. Yeah, is this something that you'd want to know? So, because what we want is our children to think, imagination. You want our children to be able to express their interests, okay? And this can only be done in unstructured play, not in structured play. And for our children who are neurodiverse, this is big. It's more of they like predictability, but there's a way they do their things. For example, one of the advantage of autism is hyper focus. So we should allow our children to have that time where they can actually focus on doing what they love. And this could be anything. A typical child will need at least 3 hours of play every single day, and by day it's a 24-hour clock. But so the question is, how much time does your child play? Okay, and by play, we don't count screen time and video games and all that. By play means, going out and play. And the third thing is join your child in their interests whenever they are doing their creativity. For example, your child is trying to make a paper plane. As a parent, this will be the best time for you to bond. Also try to make a paper planes. The idea is not comparing. Please remember that the idea is not comparing. The idea is you taking time to understand why they are doing it. Do they understand the mechanics behind that aeroplane, for instance? If they are doing an airplane, take that opportunity to really try to talk to them about it, ask them questions, push their creativity further, push them so that they are able to ask themselves even more bigger and relevant questions based on really what they're doing. Okay, I find this to be such a beautiful time for bonding as a family. For parents who sometimes really struggle to, get enough time to spend with their children, every week you do 1 or 2 activities with your children. But really, it is their interest. Remember, it has to be the child deciding what they want to do. The fourth thing is let's normalize embracing mistakes. Do not be a parent who has to constantly be correcting your child. Allow your child to do what they need to do. Let them make a mistake. Yes, you are seeing them making the mistake. Allow them to make the mistake because they are making a mistake because they don't know. Okay? Of course, that depends with the cost of that mistake. However, if when it comes to play and creativity, most of these things, they learn, and encourage them to take risks. Do not offer over guidance. Allow them to go through the process of growth. For example, they're painting and they realize, okay, there are some colors you should not be mixing. The only way they can know that is actually by allowing them to mix those colors and realize, okay, the outcome is actually a black color and this is not what I wanted. Okay, so allow them to risk, allow them to try different things, and allow them to make as many mistakes as possible, because it is through those mistakes when they know how not to do some things, and it's through those mistakes then they also learn how to do some things. You do not want a child who is constantly a perfection, like a perfect child. You do not want that. You want a child who makes some mistakes, grow. And I always say, do not always focus on the end product. Focus on the process of getting there. Okay? So if for any reason your child keeps on doing very easy things and they kind of almost get it in a perfect way, then you need to advise them to try more difficult levels of creativity. Something that will really stretch their mind, something that will really stretch them even as so that they're able to make mistakes, take risks, fail, go through the emotions of failing, and then from there they rise and go to do the next thing. Making mistakes has been shown to be the best way to build resilience in children and to foster explorative curiosity. Okay? Because once they make mistake, then they'll know, okay, I'm not supposed to do this, but how else can I do it? And remember, anytime when you're talking about creativity, it has to be something that these kids like, by the way. The motivation should be from the child, not from the parent. You can challenge them, that's fine. You can offer guidance, that's okay. But if you challenge them and they tell you, I don't want to do that, and they have a good reason, maybe they're not interested, but that's not really what they want, it's okay. Then the fifth thing is validate your child's emotions. You remember, when you're doing creativity, there's a lot of failure, there's a lot of falling, there's a lot of rising, and then there's a falling, So through that, there's also a lot of emotions that come with it. Please learn to validate your child's emotions. If they're learning to, for example, to play piano, for instance, and they're not really getting this key, it's okay. Tell them it's okay. You just need to practice some more and let them practice some more. Because what we need to teach our children is that growth is there's just no an upper ceiling of growth. There's no ceiling for growth. So because there's no ceiling for growth, it is them to decide where they want to end. Okay? And for anyone who has been in this journey of trying to build something, there's a lot of emotions and tears that come with it. So just try to validate your child's emotion. Allow them to just realize the fact that there's actually nothing wrong for them trying to create anything. And then also for children who are on the spectrum, this is very critical because sometimes, as we said, creativity is a way of expressing these children's what is in their mind, what is in their heart, especially for those kids who are non-speaking. Okay, so sometimes arts can be really, really in handy. What does this child draw? What is it trying to really communicate? As you said, there are no two brains that are the same. And if creativity is a unique way of us expressing ourselves, everything is a masterpiece. And because everything is a masterpiece, what we only need to do is making sure that our masterpiece becomes better and better and better. And that is what exactly growth is. Okay? But you cannot compare two masterpieces from two different brains and say one is better than the other. It just does not make sense. Okay? They are different, but not better. All right? So that's what we need to keep in mind. And that's what we need to also train our children to know, that whatever they've created, it's a masterpiece. They can make it better, that's for sure. But comparing two children doing different things is wrong. You're killing creative genius in your child. And if you're still watching, please go ahead and subscribe. And those are the 5 things that sometimes we parents do to kill creativity in our children. I hope you found this helpful. Bye and God bless you.